Are you stuck with your story and don't know how to get unstuck? Are you a novelist who wishes to be more prolific? Or maybe you've written that first draft and you just don't know how to make it better. Then sign up today for a no-obligation discovery call with me, Beth Barany, creativity coach and award-winning science fiction and fantasy novelist. I look forward to seeing how I can help you. So sign up today. The link is in the show notes. And now let's get on with the show. Hi, everyone. I'm Beth Barany. I am your host for How to Write the Future podcast, a podcast for science fiction and fantasy writers and anybody who cares about the future and cares about creating positive, optimistic futures. I'm a creativity coach and writing teacher for science fiction and fantasy writers who want to write, edit, publish, and market their novels. I'm bringing to you today this world-class podcast so you can enrich the worlds that your character is in and make your stories come alive. Here are some common questions I get about world building. Number one, people say world building only applies to science fiction and fantasy, right? And I say, actually, no. You need to take your time to think about your world, even if you are writing stories set in a contemporary time and place. And here's why. There's a few different reasons why. Firstly, your readers may not know your setting. They may not be from the region that you are writing about. Write the setting in a way that allows your reader to fully explore it as it is relevant to the characters in your story. The other reason why you want to design your setting, even a contemporary setting, in a way that's rich is so that the readers get an immersive experience. And lastly, your setting is going to reveal things about character and about plot, conflict, what's important to your characters. So you need to show it. So no matter if you're writing science fiction or fantasy or setting your story in a contemporary time or writing historical, world building is important. Another concern that writers ask me about is world building just setting? And it's not just setting. Part of that is the environment that your character is in. But world building is also customs, culture, how people greet each other, how people go about their day, what's expected of them, both in roles in society, gender roles, socioeconomic roles. What are some rituals? What are rituals? That's religion. Who holds power? That's politics. So actually, world building is much, much broader than just setting. Another common problem I spot in manuscripts of my clients is they will either write too much detail and just bombard us with lots of details, and we don't know what's important, and it's also hard to keep track of everything, or there's hardly any detail about the world, and it feels like we're walking around in a setting that's mostly blank. Because of those two problems, you absolutely need to put some time into creating your story world. Another problem that I see in world building for writers is that they will go into great detail. And I feel like I'm reading an encyclopedic entry or a Wikipedia entry, or maybe something a journalist wrote. It lacks emotion. It's written in a very precise way, which would be perfectly appropriate to those other mediums. But for fiction, it does not evoke any emotion. And our job as fiction writers is to evoke emotion in the reader. In that instance, what I coach my writers to do is to really get into the character's point of view and ask even like in a journal entry, what does the character think and feel about their environment? Also, what does your character know? If there is one piece of advice I have for you to get started on creating vivid worlds that feel lived in and rich and multi-layered and have history, is get into your character's know-how. Find out how they see their world. What is their attitude of the world? Another way of saying that is, what's their world view? What's their filter? And then get into what it is that they know about their world. Just think of yourself, born into this world. It comes with all this history that you did not design. And you grow up learning what the world that you're in is about and how it was formed and what the stories are that we say about how it was formed. And I'm not just talking about like evolution of the planet. I'm talking about the evolution of a city, the evolution of a town, the evolution of a nation, the evolution of a regional area. Every location has its stories. So your character is going to know or not know, you're going to know a little bit about that. Same goes for politics, same goes for gender roles and expectations, goes for what does it mean to be a human being? We all are given this information and it's in the soup, in the sea that we swim in. Your character is going to have the same kind of know-how that's right for them. So dig into that. Use some journaling time to write out, what does your character know? What does your character think about the world they're in? And as it is relevant to your story and to the challenges your character is facing. So I'm going to leave you with that today. Write long and prosper. Science fiction and fantasy writers, sign up for your no obligation discovery call and get clarity to your writing process and finish your book.